Hi, my name is Zoe Schoberg, and today I'm going to be teaching how we model 24 times 32 using the partial products multiplication algorithm through the use of the CRA process. So the CRA process stands for concrete, representational, and abstract. So I'm first going to explain how to model 24 times 32 using the partial products in the concrete format. Modeling concretely sort of means like modeling with a hands-on approach. For example, in class we often use these flats, longs, and cubes to represent hundreds, tens, and ones, specifically with base 10. To concretely model the multiplication problem, 24 times 32, we're going to want to model 24 this way, or vertically, and 32 horizontally, and they're kind of gonna mesh together, which I will show in just a second. So here's 24 modeled vertically. So I have 2 longs to represent the 20, and I have 4 units to represent the 4, so 24. And now I've modeled the 32 horizontally, so I have 3 longs, or 3 tens, to represent 30, and 2 units to represent the 2, so it's 32. Our next step to concrete modeling is to fill in this box here. That way we will get the answer to our problem, 24 times 32. The first step to doing this is to look at what's on each side. So we have a 10 here and a 10 here. And 10 times 10 would make 100. So that's why I have a flat right here to represent 100. This goes for each level, kind of, because there's a 10 here, a 10 here, 100 will go here. Same for all of those. The next step was to fill in the rest of the partial products. So in the last clip, I had already done all of the tens. So there was 2 tens right here, or 2 longs, and 3 tens down here, or 3 longs. So we were left with 2 units on this side and 4 units on this side. Since there were 4 units on this side and 1 10 or 1 long down here, I could multiply a long by a unit 4 times up here. So that's why we have 4 longs sitting on top of these 2 flats. I was able to repeat that with the rest of these longs, and I did a very similar thing over here with the 2 units, 2 longs over here, which made 4 in total, 4 different longs. And then all we had left was this little corner back here, which there was 2 units down here, 4 units up here. So there are 8 units in this little corner. So altogether we can see that there are 6 flats, 16 longs, and 8 units. The partial products of this are that the 6 flats make up 600 units. Then the 16 longs make up 160 units. And then we are just left with the 8 units, which make up 8 units. The first step to representing 24 times 32 is to do the exact same thing we did in the concrete format, which is to lay out each side. So we're going to draw 2 longs and 4 units, and then 3 longs and 2 units. So now that we have each side representing the amount it has in units, we are going to do our multiplying of the sides and figuring out our partial products. So like last time, this 10 and this 10 make 100 when they are multiplied, so that will make a flat. Same goes for this one, all the rest of them. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 flats. so far. Our next step is to finish going through the rest of this box area. So the rest of this, we have to fill all of that in, just like we did in the concrete format. So I'm going to do that here. I'll be right back. Alright, so now I've modeled the rest of the partial products. Like we did in our concrete format, we filled in all of these with tens, so longs, and units, because there is 110 down here and 4 units up here, so we end up 1 unit times 1 long is going to be 1 long, and we did that 4 times in this little area. And then we did that again here, 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 and here. So now for this corner here, we look at the units that we have on the end. And since 1 unit times 1 unit is 1 unit, we basically just made 2 rows, since there's 2 units down here, 2 rows of 4 units. Now, to look at the partial products part of this, we need to look at how many of each type of block we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flats, or 600 units. For our longs up here and here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We have 16 longs. Up here, we have 12 longs, which makes 120 units. And over here, we have 4 longs, which makes 40 units. And then in this corner, we can count how many units we have, since it's just the unit blocks. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 units in this corner. So using the partial products method, we can add all of these numbers together to get our answer to 24 times 32. So 600 plus 120 plus 40 plus 8 equals 768. Now we've done 24 times 32 in the representational format, as we're going through the CRA process. Now in the last step of the CRA process, we are going to represent 24 times 32 in the abstract format. So the abstract format talks more about numbers and equations. For 24 times 32 in the abstract method, we are going to write it out in the vertical equation, and we are going to start multiplying. So we look at this first digit, 2 and 32. We can multiply that 2 by this 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. So now that we have our 8, we can go to the next partial product. So we're going to look at this digit again with this digit. Since this is in the tens place, we are going to have to add a 0 on its side. This represents how many units there are, and right here is going to represent how many longs there are. So 2 times 2 is 4, so we have 40 right here. Now we're going to go on to the next number. So we're going to look at this 3, which is in the tens place, just like how this 2 is. We're going to multiply this 3 by this 4. And since this is in the tens place, we're going to do another 0 placeholder. And then we're just going to multiply. So 3 times 4 is 12. So I can write 1, 2. And that makes 120. Our next step is to multiply this 30 times this 20. So since these are both in the tens place, we are going to put down 2 zeros this time. And now our next step is to just multiply again. So 3 times 2 is 6. So we'll put the 6 right here in the hundreds place. And now we're going to add. We're going to add all of these numbers. So if we go through the first row right here, 8 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is going to equal just 8. So 8 in the ones place. Next, we're going to add in the tens place. So we can add 4 plus 2 plus 0. 4 plus 2 plus 0 is 6. Next, we can add in the hundreds place. So we can add 1 plus 6, and 1 plus 6 is 7. So our answer down here is 768. Now that we've gone through the concrete format, the representational format, and the abstract format, we have found that in each format we count 768 units. So 24 times 32 is 768.